We got Brandon Royval back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Jerome Rivera this Friday at LFA 39. Brandon, what's going on, man? How are you?
Yourself?
I'm doing very well, man. Where am I getting you today? Where are you heading to?
I am just got off work, just probably heading home.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you having me part of your post-work part of the day. And we haven't seen you since September, man. That was the last time you fought. What's sort of been the reason for the layoff?
Just had a hard time finding opponents, man. I think it's just nothing specific. We were looking immediate. I didn't get hurt or anything in the fight, so we wanted immediate turnaround, and it just didn't work out that way. Being a flyweight, sometimes it is a little bit like that, where I've had it years without fights and stores and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I don't blame people for not wanting to fight you, man. You're coming off a big win at LFA 22, that submission victory over Demetrius Wilson. How happy were you with your performance, especially getting a finish in that one?
Man, honestly, I was beyond pissed about that performance. I was really mad about it. I think later on I watched the video and calmed down, but right before I got the triangle, he landed a 5-piece combination on me, and I think that after I got the triangle, I was just a little upset with I knew he was going to try to wrestle me. I didn't want him to land any clean punches on me at all. And I don't know. I think I just had to rewatch it and kind of see what happened. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't bad at all. It wasn't as bad with the performance as I felt like it. But it's still not the performance I want to get me to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to see better for myself at the time. But yeah, I've got to rewatch it and just kind of gather myself about it. So feeling a little more.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Wilson was 5-1 heading into that fight, so he had a pretty good record. I mean, maybe the performance wasn't the way you wanted it, but looks good on the resume. Let's put it that way.
And yeah, it was nice to have. And he has a big fight ahead of him too, so it works out real well for if he wins that fight. He's doing big things again too. So
exactly. And you got a big fight here. I mentioned it off the top, Jerome Rivera, who fought for the LFA flyweight title already. How excited were you to get this fight of all fights coming back after the layoff?
Yeah, I was actually excited. I thought I was supposed to fight him instead of Demetrius Wilson. So I actually thought I was going to fight him for the last year. So it's been exciting. I've been prepping for him. I didn't know he was a flyweight at the time, but I was just keeping my eye on the LFA title and stuff. So I have been watching all of his fights and stuff. So it just ended up working out that it was him as an opponent. And he is really talented. And I think matchup-wise, we are exactly the same. We're both probably the tallest flyweights I've ever seen, and we both jiu-jitsu strikers, so it'll be interesting. We both go for the finish, so it'll be really cool to match up with him.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I talked about a layoff. He's got an even bigger layoff than you. He hasn't fought since June of last year. Do you think that's going to impact him at all in this fight?
I don't, man. I think that he's probably been more fired up than ever about that. Honestly, he's come off his first loss ever. He's a young kid, man. I bet he's just all amped up, ready to rock and roll. So I kept that in the back of my head, too. I'm like, I bet he's ready to – I didn't know it had been longer than my layoff, but I knew that he had a little bit of a gap between his fights. Yeah, that being said, he was just so close to being in the UFC and all that. If he would have won that fight, it would have been him getting called up instead of
Roberto Sanchez. Yeah, that's right. Training camp obviously come from an awesome camp at Factory X. How has training camp been going, and who are some of the people that have been helping you get ready for this fight?
Oh man, it actually was perfect timing because, as you know, Sid Bice just had his title shot for LFA. We're the same weight class, so we've been pushing each other. I've had a training partner that's 6 foot tall that has I've been training with for years, named John Allen, and I've been fighting flyweights and bantamweights. No one's 6 foot tall, so he's actually been perfect for this matchup. So finally I get to use his lengthiness to my advantage instead of just having an awkwardly tall opponent when I'm fighting someone 5'4". So I don't know. It's been really good.
No, I can tell. That is a great point about Sid Bice, the fact that he just fought for the title, and so he's sort of a perfect training partner for flyweights anyways. Let's talk about the weight cut. You got to make weight on Friday. You seem like you're in a good mood, so I imagine everything's going well.
No, not bad at all, man. I've actually been pushing the limits. Usually when I do good on my weight cuts, I start pushing the limits a little bit. Eating a little bit too much dark chocolate, and yeah, but other than that, I'm 133. I'm still slamming my gallons, so I'm hydrated. I am pretty light on weight and just ready to rock and roll at this point. That's another thing that I like about my opponent is I feel like he's a little bit taller than me, so his weight cut sucks too. So it's not gonna be fun for him either.
Right. How do you see this fight playing out on Friday?
I don't really necessarily know what he's gonna try to do in that sense, and I guess it really doesn't matter, but. I think I'm just gonna try to just keep him. I think I know how to use my length a lot better than he does. And I think I'm a way better striker than he is. I think I'm going to pick him apart on the feet, and I think he's going to shoot in on me. And I think as soon as he does, he's going to make the I think he's going to shoot in on me, and then he's stuck in my guard. When he's stuck in my guard, like I attack heavy, so I'm just hoping that I can kind of put a lot of pressure on him and find a submission there, or even mainly not get taken down. I train with the best wrestlers ever. I should not be getting taken down as easily also.
And what's after this? I know you're not looking past Jerome, but I got to imagine the Contender Series has got to be on your radar after this. I mean, you've got a great record, and you're a young guy. I imagine you're the exact type of guy they would want in the Contender Series.
You know what I was actually thinking is I really didn't I thought Sid was going to run through his opponent and get the belt for sure, so I immediately was like, Contender Series is what I want right away. But the LFA title shot, man, me and that guy are a perfect matchup. I would knock that Maikel out on his feet. If you stand and try, I will put him to sleep, and then if he takes me down, I'll put him to sleep there. Like I'm very confident in that fight, in that matchup. I think it plays a lot into my advantages because he is like a very I don't know. I guess I probably shouldn't overthink Jerome because he's amazing himself, but like I said, I think the matchup wise, I'm the best matchup for him. On the feet, he's no comparison. And then if it goes to the mat, all of a sudden so quick. So I don't know. I'm interested in that too, and I'm also interested in like testing my jiu-jitsu against a high level wrestler like that. I've got to train with Joe Warren and stuff, and I've got to test it there. But it'd be nice to go against even like someone small, or even like just feel like a little bit of that too, you know. So just test myself, and I think that'd be the best matchup for me. And I think that's the most exciting matchup for LFA too, man. And that being said, like if you want to see a finish, I will finish that guy. I'll put that guy out for sure. So I don't know. That being said, like I feel like I'm an exciting fighter, and matchup wise against that guy, man, it'd be a great matchup for me.
See, they don't even need to make a poster or do any marketing for that fight. You just sold it right here, so you know, you done all the promotional work for them.
That being said, man, I've actually hung out with him in Sioux Falls. Me and him both got lost on a bus. He was a really cool dude. So I'm not trying to shit talk like.
No, you're not. Hey, listen, you got to map out the rest of the year. You got to look at kind of what's what's happening in your future, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
This guy's an Olympian. He's like won gold medals and stuff, man. Let my dreams come to fruition. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yo, you've already completed a lot of cool things. Just let me knock you out real quick, and you know, I'll let you go on doing the cool things you're gonna do with your life, you know. But yeah, I want that fight really bad, and I want that. His loss was against Factory X guy. He beat a Factory X guy. Let's see what that third round looks like.
Let's do the trilogy of the Factory X fights. I agree. And an LFA title shot is way better than going in Contender Series. I mean, you know, because then you're the man, you're the main event. All the focus is on you. You go in Contender Series, you might be the first fight of the night. People will forget if someone gets a spectacular knockout 2 fights later, right?
Yeah, that's exactly. And like I said, as far as LFA and Contender Series go, I fought on UFC Fight Pass. There was like 3 of my friends that were able to watch it. That like. As far as Access TV, man, everybody sees it. Access TV, it's a pretty like normal channel to have. So I would rather make a name out on that, and definitely fight for 5-rounder. Get used to that. There's a lot of good stuff that would come from, and especially just that matchup for me, I think is mainly a real big important part. Another match, but I just want a big hitter too next. I want someone that will actually strike and like sit there and like try to bang with me a little bit at flyweight division, because I've done it at bantamweight division. I've been a little bit of a smaller guys in some of those matchups, but for the most part on the feet, I don't think I've ever been challenged. I don't think I've ever had like a rough matchup. I think I've always been the more technical, more fluid, definitely the faster of the fighters, and I know my length. I'm really tall. I'm 5'8", but like I'm really lengthy, and I know how to use it really well. So I think that comes into a major advantage with any of these striking. So I want a big hitter, man. I want someone that has knockouts in the records. I want to like be in the middle of those exchanges, man. I want to test my feet, and I don't want to like all these fights I'm like super excited about. Then I'm just like get taken down the first 30 seconds of the fight, or I'm get wrestling the first 30 seconds of the fight. With that Demetrius Wilson kid, man, it was so frustrating because as soon as that bell rung, he was on me like just like it was just me like having to wrestle him off and then using a few seconds to get my to use my striking, and then he'd be right back on me. So I want to like have a minute where I can just pick someone apart and have like, you know, I've never really got to have one of those fights. It's always been like all right, we had an exchange, now we're wrestling now. Like now we're doing jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So I want one of those.
It's going to be an exciting matchup this Friday. It's LFA 39 live on Access TV. Brandon, it was great talking to you again, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, man.
I am actually on Brandon Royval on everything. I think I'm probably the only Brandon Royval that exists I've ever heard of. But on social media, yeah, just look me up on Brandon Royval. As far as sponsors go, I want to thank Terphouse as always. Yeah, man, as you also, Terphouse has been a big supporter of me and helped me out and helped all my recovery out. This training camp has been a long one, a little rough one, so that Terphouse has been a big help for recovery and all that stuff. Flow Club, man, they're a big jiu-jitsu company on the rise, and they help me out with all my clothes and stuff. They make pretty cool gear, so check out Flow Club. And as far as the rest is Ace Towing, I want to thank Ace Towing for just all-around support and help, man. If you're in the Denver area and you need your car towed, man, go to Ace for sure. And that's all for plugs. Thank you, man.